If you've ever seen me around the Bloxbyte, you probably know by now that my favorite NPC is Alice. A lot of things about her catch my eye, from her relationships with Phantom, Hikari, and Blaze, to her backstory, etc., etc. But what initially drove me to her character was her internal conflict. But what is that conflict? On the outside, Alice is initially a very fun and bubbly character. She hugs you nearly immediately upon entering the Remnant Zone, spending most of her questline playing a variety of different games with you. Games are important to her, and they seem to be her main way of bonding with people. But there's a catch to this. Multiple times in the quest, she says things like, "Did you have fun? I never played with someone like that before. I was just so happy to be seen. That you saw me." She's very clearly lonely. Despite having so many friends and family, there's something missing. This makes more sense when we get to her relationships with Ram. From her perspective, at least, she loves and looks up to them. She mentions her games of Joker, excitedly looks up to Spades and Phantom, and even tells the player about Harz's advice about the ghosts. But there's one thing. The way Ram treats her. The first time we heard about this is whenever Alice mentions that Spades once belittled her because he believed she saw the Pax and Vax as toys. Given her demeanor, this would be a little concerning, but fine, I guess. But this isn't an isolated incident. This sort of thing happens again and again. I don't know what the others do, but you can tell me, right? There's so much I don't know, is there? A lot of good and bad things. From what we see, the rest of Ram doesn't trust Alice at all. They see her as a child. They see her as lesser than. Heck, even her brother saw her this way, and she even fought against it, but I don't have enough time in this video to really go over Blaze. But from what little we see of her, Alice proves time and time again that she's just like everyone else. She's childish, energetic, and a bit ignorant, sure. But she's creative, loyal, and cares deeply about the world around her. She's always on her toes, and she's even created a variety of systems that help the player, from rebirthing to crafting. Or at least, helped create. Because this sort of thing happens when it comes to her own work. Multiple times, the narrator questions just how much she even knew about the rebirths that she was ordered to do. How much damage does she know she did? Especially to Hikari? Probably nothing. Because Ram never trusted her enough to tell her. What Alice needs is a real friend. And she even questions. Are you going to leave? Did you like being here? Do you think I'm your friend? She's afraid. She's afraid of losing that connection. Maybe she's lost it before, given the drift away reference. But what's implied is she's afraid of not being seen, like the rest of the remnants. No, even amongst the remnants. She wants to be taken seriously. She wants to be seen as a person of her own, but that's something that Ram won't allow her to be. But something that the player might. When I realized this, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like Alice, I'm autistic, and as a result, I was always seen as immature and too much. And after a while, you believe that. I also had a certain controlling adult in my life, one that could be very similar to how Phantom could be treating Alice. So I saw a lot of myself in her. Her struggle to be seen, a struggle to be taken seriously, a struggle for a real friend. And as a result, she was always pretty much my favorite. Wherever the story goes, especially with how much more we know about her now, I hope it ends with whatever she decides is best for her. And hopefully, Ram and Blaze will begin to see her as her own person, too.